What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream here regularly as well as on Twitch, so make sure you come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound, and I did have a new release on January 1st, a single called Run, so check it out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. Okay, guys, let's jump into the topic of today's video, which is this proposal here to adjust the card of Nidhoggr. Right now, Nidhoggr is the final airdrop. It is the Dragon Summoner for the Rebellion, or Legendary Dragon Summoner for the Rebellion series. And to be honest, I wasn't even going to cover this, mainly because I felt like the bigger stakes than me would essentially like make it somewhat moot, right? Like I thought they would vote, and I didn't even know which way it would be, but I figured it would be strongly one way or the other. Yet, as you can see here, we are in the draft proposal phase, about halfway through. There's 4 days left. And you'll see that it's actually at 73%, which is a lot closer than I expected. Keep in mind, I think you need 67%-ish around there, right? 2/3 in order to pass this. And obviously, again, this is just a draft proposal to make it a real proposal. And as of now, it is passing with like, a 5-6% margin, but it's a lot closer than I thought it would be. Like I said, I thought it would either be all the way at the top, right? In the 90 percentile range, or like below 50. I wasn't sure which way, but I'm shocked to see it here in this range. You can see that I voted for it, and I'm going to get into that in a second, but let's actually cover some of the details here. Shout out to People's Guild for putting this together. I think B. Jangles has been talking about this for a while, so let's go ahead and just cover some of the details here. So implementing these changes are set the background. The release of the Nidhoggr as an airdrop has left many pre-sale participants feeling dissatisfied. As a high-profile expected card to reward significant investment, its current design has led to frustration among those who participated or anticipated a more meaningful impact to their collection. Okay, so these are the proposed changes to Nidhoggr, right? Wanting to reduce the mana cost to 7 so that it's aligned with all the other legendary summoners. Debilitation removal, so not have force reduction. For anybody who's familiar, that is where you're not allowed to use the same amount of units, right? It's always going to be one less than whatever the maximum amount is. And then a tactics modification, so allow Nidhoggr to enable 2 monsters to do +2 speed and execute, or 3 monsters blast and death blow. And to be honest, I'm not even sure what the current thing is because I don't use this card. So let me check it here on another screen, because I think, okay. So right now it's 3 and 3, right? So it would reduce the +2 speed and execute. I wonder why we're not reducing the blast and death blow. But either way, my thought on this is, and I'll be honest, like I would be okay with this just going to 7 mana. Like the fact that it's 10 mana is a little wild to me, right? Like it should be in line with everything else. Even if you were to keep the tactics the same and remove or keep the debilitation there, just having it at 7 mana makes it much more usable in many other scenarios, right? Like one of my biggest criticisms of Nidhoggr is the fact that like at 10 mana, you're only going to be using it in very high level mana games, which will probably have 6 units, right? Or, people are going to maximize the amount of units and you're always going to be one short. So, like having it at 7 mana, I use other unit, or sorry, not units, but I use other summoners in like, 20, 25 mana games. And I'm able to get away with that with a lot of like smaller, or low mana units. So I would be okay with just this first one if we decide, or the team decides that they want to go through and, or the community also wants to have this happen, then, I mean, that's fine. I don't have this card. I don't have a dog in the fight. Like for me, it's not as big of a deal. Now, the reason that I voted for it, and I know that there's a lot of principled stances, which I respect, like if you don't want to have it or don't want to make changes to cards, I fully respect that. What I'm looking at when it comes to this, and the reason that I'm voting for it is mainly, okay, so mainly like to test to see what kind of power the DAO has. Keep in mind that this is something that the team is going to take into consideration, right? This is not an SPS related proposal. So I'm just curious to see if the community does vote in favor of this. How is the team going to respond? This is like I said, it's more so like an experiment for me, just to see where things go if the team responds, and not even to like test them and like there's a right or wrong answer. I just want to see, like, this is an interesting moment in time where I know that there's probably been a couple of card adjustments in the past before I was here, but I kind of just want to see where this goes, if there is enough sentiment. And again, like, my stake is not that high. Like I said, I was expecting, if it was going to be voted in favor of, it was going to be overwhelming. So this is also, uncharted territory for me in terms of my expectations. But the other part that that I'm voting for it is the element of like agreeing with People's Guild, with Bjangles, about its power, right? There is, like, we've seen the last two summoners, right? The dragon summoners be quite desirable, and dragon is supposed to be the super powerful thing that people want to have. And clearly it's not that, right? It's not that. And with Rebellion being such a scarce set, I want it to be awesome from top to bottom. And keep in mind, this is coming from somebody that owns barely any Rebellion cards, right? I think the importance of it being fantastic from top to bottom is crucial to the game. You want it to be a highly desired set, and you want one of the cards that probably was the most anticipated, the final airdrop, the Dragon Legendary Summoner. You want it to be something that people really want. Now, I'm not saying, make it stronger and OP or stronger than Tofu, right? Like, but I do feel like there is a sense of disappointment with the card, which has been, if you have disappointment with like a promo card or another random unit or even just like a legendary unit airdrop, that's one thing. But the summoners are the crux of the game, right? Like, you need them and you want them just to be able to participate, right? And we're going to see that even more so with the upcoming survival mode, because you can have like 1 million units, but if you don't have any summoners, you can't play the game, right? And that, obviously that's the case all around. But if you don't have any summoners, that's kind of like that defeats the purpose. So I want all summoners to be competent, and I want the Dragon Legendary Airdrop Summoner to be something that is not just competent, but above and beyond that, right? Something that people chase, that they want to go and open these few remaining Rebellion packs for. So that's where my head is at. Again, I'm not tied to anything either way. Hopefully you can understand my sentiment when it comes to that, but I am voting for it just to see where this goes. And I'm curious to know how you guys feel about it. Again, if people are voting against it in principle of not wanting to change cards, or if the team decides, that that's the route that they want to take, I totally get it. And I'm not even going to be upset about it. But the option is here. We have the ability to vote with our stake, and that's what I'm doing. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.